Most people get this wrong when they try to start a company in the Netherlands. They assume it is just paperwork, a quick registration, and they are ready to operate. But here's the truth no one tells you. One wrong legal choice at the beginning can affect your taxes, your banking, and even your ability to stay in the country if you are a foreign founder. If you are thinking about starting a business in the Netherlands in 2026, this video will walk you through everything step by step in the simplest way possible. No confusion, no legal jargon, just a clear roadmap from idea to fully registered company. And here's what makes this important. The Netherlands is one of the most startup-friendly countries in Europe. It offers strong infrastructure, access to the EU market, and a stable legal system. But here's the catch. The system is structured and strict. So if you don't follow the correct order, you can waste time and money. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly how to choose the right business structure, register your company, handle taxes, open a bank account, and avoid the mistakes most beginners make. And yes, I'll also explain what foreigners need to legally start a company and stay compliant. Now let's start from the beginning. The first thing you need to understand is that in the Netherlands you don't just start a company. You choose a legal structure first. This decision shapes everything else. The most common option is the sole proprietorship, called eenmanszaak. This is simple, fast, and low cost. It is usually used by freelancers, consultants, or small online businesses. The key benefit is that registration is easy, and taxes are straightforward. But here's the problem. You are personally liable. That means if your business gets into debt, you are responsible. Now the second option is the private limited company, known as Besloten Vennootschap, or BVA. This is the most popular choice for startups and serious businesses. Why? Because it separates your personal assets from your company. If the company has financial problems, your personal money is protected in most cases. But here's where it gets interesting. A BV is more complex to set up. You need a notary, legal documents, and a slightly higher starting cost. But for long-term growth, investors, and credibility, it is usually the better choice. Let's imagine two people. Alex starts a freelance design business. He chooses a sole proprietorship. Simple, fast, low cost. Then we have Sarah. She is building a tech startup and wants investors. She chooses a BV Tau. Different goals, different structures. Now, before registration, you need to think about your business name. This sounds simple, but don't rush it. Your company name must be unique and cannot confuse customers with existing brands. Here's a smart move. Check the Dutch Chamber of Commerce database, known as KVCAT.8. This is where all businesses are registered. You need to search your desired name before you commit. And here's a mistake many people make. They pick a name that looks good in English but has negative meaning in Dutch. Always double-check cultural and language meaning before finalizing. Now, let's move to the actual registration process. In the Netherlands, all companies are registered through the KVK, the Chamber of Commerce. This is your main official step. Once you register here, your business becomes legally recognized. If you are starting a sole proprietorship, the process is simple. You book an appointment with KVK, fill out your details, and register your business. In many cases, you can complete it in a single visit. But if you are forming a BV, the process has an extra layer. You need a civil law notary. This is required by law. The notary prepares your incorporation deed. This document defines your company's structure, shares, and rules. Now here's where most people get surprised. You cannot skip the notary for a BV dike. It is mandatory. And yes, it adds cost. But it also gives your company legal strength. Once the notary prepares the documents, your company is registered with KVK automatically. You will then receive your KVK number. This number is like your business identity in the Netherlands. Now let's pause for a second because this is important. Many people think KVK registration is the final step. But actually, it is just the beginning. Next comes taxation. In the Netherlands, businesses deal with multiple taxes. The most important one is VAT, known locally as B2W2A. If your business crosses the threshold or operates in certain sectors, you must charge VAT on your services or products. You will also get a tax number from the Dutch tax authority, called Belastingdienst. This is separate from your KVK number. Many beginners confuse these two. Now here's where it gets interesting. The Netherlands has relatively business-friendly tax rules, but compliance is strict. You must file returns on time. Even if you earn zero revenue, you often still need to submit filings. Let's take an example. John starts an online consulting business. He registers his company in January. In March, he has no clients yet. But he still has to maintain accounting records, and may still need to submit VAT filings depending on his setup. This is why bookkeeping is not optional. It is mandatory from day one. Now let's talk about business banking. Once your company is registered, you need a business bank account. Most Dutch banks will require your KVK number, identification, and sometimes proof of business activity. Banks in the Netherlands are strict due to EU financial regulations. So don't be surprised if they ask detailed questions about your business model. Here's a tip that helps. Prepare a simple business explanation. What you do, who your customers are, and how you make money. Clear and simple answers make the approval process smoother. Now, if you are a foreign founder, this part is extremely important. Many people ask if you can start a company in the Netherlands without living there. The answer is yes, but with conditions. You can register a company as a non-resident. But if you plan to live and work in the Netherlands, you will need the correct visa or residence permit. One common option is the startup visa. This is designed for innovative entrepreneurs who want to build scalable businesses. But here's the catch. You need a facilitator, which is an approved Dutch mentor or organization that supports your startup. Another option is the self-employed permit. This requires you to show that your business adds economic value to the country. Now here's where most people fail. They think registering a company automatically gives them the right to live in the Netherlands. That is not true. Business registration and immigration are two separate systems. So always plan both together. Let's move to costs, because this is another big question. Starting a sole proprietorship is relatively cheap. You pay a small registration fee, at KVK. A BV is more expensive. You will pay notary fees, registration costs, and sometimes legal consultation fees. On average, total startup costs are higher, but still manageable for most entrepreneurs. But the real cost is not just registration. It is ongoing compliance. Accounting, tax filing, and possible advisory services. Now let's talk about timelines. A sole proprietorship can be set up very quickly, sometimes within one day. A BV usually takes a few days to a couple of weeks, depending on notary availability and document preparation. For foreigners, visa processing can take much longer, sometimes months. So always plan ahead. Now here's a key strategic point most beginners miss. Your company structure should match your long-term goal, not your short-term convenience. If you are testing a small idea, a sole proprietorship might be fine. But if you want investors or long-term expansion, a BV is usually the smarter choice. Let's talk about common mistakes now. The first mistake is choosing the wrong structure too quickly. People rush without thinking about taxes and liability. The second mistake is ignoring accounting. Even small businesses must keep proper records. The third mistake is mixing personal and business finances. This creates serious problems during tax filing. And the fourth mistake is misunderstanding visa rules if you are a foreign entrepreneur. Now let's make this practical. Imagine Alex wants to start an e-commerce store in the Netherlands. He chooses a sole proprietorship because it is fast. He registers with KVK, opens a bank account, and starts selling online. Now, imagine Sarah is building a software startup. She chooses a BV, works with a notary, registers her company, and later applies for a startup visa with a facilitator. Both paths are correct, but they serve different goals. Now before we end, let's quickly summarize the entire process so it stays clear. First, choose your legal structure. Sole proprietorship, or BV-DI. Second, check and reserve your business name. Third, register your company with KVK. Fourth, complete notary requirements if you choose BV-TAI. 5th, register for tax and VAT with the Belastingdienst. 6th, open a business bank account. 7th, set up accounting and compliance systems. And finally, if you are a foreigner, make sure your visa status is aligned with your business activity. Now here's the final truth. Starting a company in the Netherlands is not difficult, but it is structured. If you follow the steps correctly, the process is smooth. If you skip steps, you will face delays and legal issues. The good news is that once you are set up, you are operating in one of the strongest business environments in Europe. With access to the EU market, strong infrastructure, and high trust systems, you are in a very powerful position to grow. If you found this guide helpful, like the video, leave a comment with your business idea, and subscribe for more step-by-step guides on starting and growing companies internationally. Because the right knowledge at the start can save you years of mistakes later.